Arcane Odyssey is dead. Even though I do love the game and it has been my passion for the past 2 years, I do have to say, it's gone pretty down since the release. And this is expected, of course, since it is only in early access and most people on Roblox are lacking intelligence to realize this, which is why VTech decided to put an entire paragraph explaining what the heck early access means in the main page. But Arcane Odyssey's player count has dropped far from its original 80,000. Now, what does this say about the future for Arcane Odyssey? Well, of course, development is going to continue. VTech cares too much of the game, and he doesn't even care about the player count, actually. He just wants to work on it. Sooner or later, the Arcane Odyssey will start releasing updates consistently because more support and also less bugs. But as for now, we'll have to wait for the larger updates and for early access to finally end before full release. Now let's talk about the next few updates for Arcane Odyssey and what do they mean. The update that's currently being working on is called the Darksea update, and I think this will be the largest update to Arcane Odyssey, not just through all of the previous updates, but this will be the largest update ever to Arcane Odyssey. This is because this is starting the large expanse that is in between all of the seas and surrounding the entire world. The lore behind the Dark Seas is a magic-filled wasteland that was created due to Durza, who was the main antagonist of VTech's old Arcane Adventures, which has now been broken. Due to a clash with Theos, who was the protagonist's mentor in Arcane Adventures, he kind of exploded himself, and actually he did it twice, but the first time he did it, he created the Dark Seas, split the entire War Sea continent into islands, and launched basically all of the humans into the Old Sea. Now, of course, there are other sea clusters. Those were probably affected, as on the lore document it says that 80% of the human race was wiped out, which is, dang, Durza's body count is really high, man. That first explosion is what created the Dark Seas. However, many of the old magics lost, ancient magic, spells, techniques, and weapons were all lost to time. But this Dark Sea area allows us to unlock these, find special scrolls in which we can relearn these old spells and techniques and take back what is rightfully ours. That is basically the lore behind the Dark Seas. But the real gameplay is the Dark Seas is a randomly generated kind of dungeon. It's not exactly a dungeon as in you have specific places you can go through, but it's like it's like Minecraft, where it just generates random structures everywhere. So currently, VTech has added some Darksea pirates who look very cool. There's a preview of it in Patreon, not Patreon as a post, but in the Discord server Patreon chat. If you want to see it, make sure you go support VTech a bit, you know what I mean? And maybe support me too by subscribing. Anyways, these pirates are much stronger than your normal pirates, but they also can drop unique ship parts, unique items, and of course a new special modifier which adds additional stats on top of your armor and weapons, kind of like gems do. But instead of giving you a flat buff like that, it also has a downside of giving you constant insanity 1. Now this can be negated by wearing any warding item, which I presume warding enchantments should come with the Dark Sea, since it is insanity and you definitely need some warding to combat that. So do expect a new enchantment, and maybe insanity enchantments as well, but that could just be the modifier. Additionally, on top of this, we will get new rare spells, rare techniques, and rare weapons. Hopefully the balance team can balance those out before the update drops. And then some new things: shovel and fishing rod progression. Now I suspect this will just be like cooking and brewing, though VTech has stated that these systems are a baseline for what player professions will be, so do expect a skill point reset. Though I think this will be more like you can choose a profession and then you stay with that profession, though your other skills will probably drop a bit. But this would also mean maybe an excavator or like a treasure finder profession. That's it. We have here right now chefs, cooking, alchemists, brewing, and then we have jewel crafting, which I'm gonna assume is like blacksmithing, I guess. And then there's fishing rod for fishmongers and shovels for treasure hunters, I guess. But also there's bounty hunting, which will become a profession later down in the line. It's actually not too far. I think after the Darksea update, after the Nimbus update, we have the building update, and after the building update we will get player professions, so not too far off. Other than the Dark Seas and progression, and of course our beloved new abilities, we have some completely tagged out additions. Now, I don't know why VTEX would tag them out instead of just not putting them in the checklist, but he gives words, just a single word as a leak. The first one here has 3 hashtags of all 6 characters and the word ability, so we know it's something new. Testers have hinted on a movement ability being added, so you know, as mages have absolutely 0 horizontal movement right now. The forums has suspected that this is spirit weapons or spirit abilities, except that wouldn't make sense since spirit weapons are in a future update after the building update. I think this may be some sort of transport, like a teleport or movement ability, somehow unlocked through the Dark Seas as like an inherent, every build has it no matter what you are, but we will see. The second one is the first blank blank question mark. This may or may not be added. The question mark means that VTEX might or may not add it in the Dark Seas update, might come in a future update, but I'm not sure if VTEX put exactly the hashtags due to like exactly how much characters, or if he's just putting a random amount. It might be the first ghost ship. This is what I'm suspecting. The characters match, and of course the Dark Seas being the Dark Seas, ghost ships would be something that people would see. The second one is completely tagged out without any hinting of what it is, and people have guessed legendary ships, which could be a possibility since of course it is the Dark Seas, and the Dark Seas is just the Dark Seas. Well, with some mega structures and randomly generated islands, which you can check out in the patch notes, but no one really seems to know exactly what this would mean. And the last one is new blank blank blank. Now, no one has tried guessing this one, surprisingly. Maybe you guys can, but new something could mean anything. The Dark Seas is entirely full of new content, but this could mean like new items are always being added, so we could cross that out. Maybe a new ability? We know that there's already an ability being added, but this could be another, or it could mean something entirely else that has not been added into Arcane Odyssey at all, hasn't even been started. So the Dark Seas, of course, largest update. I'm very excited for it, and I'm definitely going to do a few things with this update. First of all, reviving my clan, of course, which if you guys want to join, be sure to check out the link in the description. It is one of the leaderboard clans right now, though both the server and the in-game clan are completely dead. Hopefully by the Dark Seas update I can get some stuff going. Along with this, I'm also giving out free brigs for everyone by emptying out the clan bank, since I am deciding to reset the in-game clan, since Infamy is getting reset if you didn't know. So if you do want to join that giveaway, be sure to join the Discord server, and the giveaway hasn't started yet. I will put it out when the Dark Sea update releases, so stay tuned for that. 12,000 durability, 75% stability, 50 turning, 75 speed, 65 resilience, and 600 ram strength. It also has slots for mortars, rams, and cannons. Mortars being, well, siege weapons. More siege weapons will be added in the future. Currently, all we have are mortars. And it also has 4 attachment slots and 4 deckhand slots, which is 1 more than the catch, meaning you can go now even faster. Along with the 75 base speed, which is 5 speed faster than the catch. So the brig, fastest ship right now. You can buy it at any shipwright in Ravenna for 20,000 galleons, which some people say it is a lot, but given the complexity of the brig and how overpowered it is, I think 20,000 galleons is a decent amount. Now, it might take a bit of farming, bit of cargo runs, thankfully only an hour and a half if you are like grinding it straight. That won't be too much. And that's the Dark Seas update. Moving on from the Dark Seas, we will have the Nimbus Sea, which many people are excited about due to the addition of new storyline content and a level cap raise, and we will see several new islands probably in the Bronze Seas and the Nimbus Sea. We will have to traverse through the Dark Seas to get to there presumably, but the Nimbus Sea hosts 2 kingdoms, Skyhall and Samaria, which, as the name sounds like Sky Hull would be in the sky, as it has the word sky in it. So maybe we'll see many more sky islands, and maybe new sky content like new monsters up there, or who knows, maybe customizable skyships in the future. Additionally, along with the storyline, Vtex also wants to add a lot of suggestions, or at least start adding suggestions during development of the Nimbus Seas. So if you do have suggestions, the forums are open and there's the balanced feedback server. Do note that he won't be adding anything right now, but later in the Nimbus Sea, they will start being added. So if you want to suggest some of what you think, be sure to check out those servers, but make sure you watch what you say. After the Nimbus Sea, we have the building update. Now this will probably also be one of the larger updates due to the entirely revamp of what clans will be. Not really, but clans will finally be able to build on islands, which is something that we've been waiting for a while. And hopefully we can also customize clans, as in change their logo, change their colors and whatnot, but I don't know. Now clan building will be a very interesting feature, as they will also have cannons and stuff like Silverhold to combat enemy clans, along with spawn points, save point, checkpoints, building, saving, upgrading, all kinds of things. Probably will be something along the lines of Clash of Clans, where you can like build walls and whatnot, and you have like a central area like the town hall. But since that is a ways off and nothing has been talked about it so far, so we will just have to wait and see. After the building update, there will be a few more updates. Now these, as stated, will be determined by community vote to see which one will get first, and I suspect spirit weapons will definitely be the first one being added because everyone wants them. Along with spirit weapons, we might see arcanium weapons, player professions and rewards, as in leveling up rewards, and magic energy sensing, which is something that Vtex has added into his previous games, and also Arcane Reborn, I think. Now these are only the updates for the future of Arcane Odyssey, but what will be of the player count, and when will Arcane Odyssey finally go through full release? Now this game will be worked on for quite a long time. As Vtex stated, it is his final project, and after Arcane Odyssey he will completely leave game development, but he said he will also work on this for a long time, possibly up to 5 or 7, even 7 years, which is a long time for a game that big as Arcane Odyssey, especially on Roblox. I do have high hopes for the future, as there are plenty of interesting updates, and replayability will finally come into the game, hopefully bringing many players back due to the new content of the Dark Seas update. But as the attention spans of Roblox players do wane, player count might do so as well. So I'm not too worried, as there is no chance of like Arcane Odyssey completely dying or breaking, and even if it does, I feel like I'll still be playing it. The community is also still very alive. Even though the player count of the game isn't that high, the amount of people in Vtex's server and in general chat is still sky high, and they're still spamming all kinds of really stupid and weird things. So if you want to, be sure to check out Vtex's community server, which I'll link down in the description. And apart from that, the future of Arcane Odyssey does not just depend on Vtex, but it also depends on you guys, the players who play this game. So if you do want it to stay alive and see consistent updates and new features, and maybe even your own new suggestions, then be sure to play the game often, participate in events in the community, and, well, join my clan. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Sure, you didn't hit it, but you right.
Emperor Smog Hand.